Hello, everyone. We have a lot of women in the Facebook group and wanted to welcome most of the ones that are now coming in to the Facebook group to Facing Autoimmunity Head On. I am here to give you a holistic experience today. We're starting 3-day training, holistic training for women with autoimmune conditions. I love what I do, and my name is Camille McClellan. And part of why I do these videos and challenges and engage with my Facebook group and my clients is because it's my passion, and I love helping women with autoimmune conditions. If you don't know me already, my name is Camille McClellan. I know a lot of you are still coming into the Facebook group, so welcome. And I am a naturopathic practitioner. I am a transformational coach and mentor. And what I do is transform women who are having difficulty improving their health and improve their life in general. I've dedicated most of my studies in medicine. I'm an MD. I graduated with a medical degree and integrative modalities. I went to school for that too, boring. But I learned and understood the science and how the body worked and the mind and holistic approaches to health. Together with my husband, Brett McClellan, he's going to be on here on Thursday, which is March 9th, with his presentation on primal foods and clean eating and how to reduce inflammation 21-day reset. We dedicated our lives to helping women overcome their issues and do it more in a natural way. Like you, we personally experienced health problems, and standard medicine simply had no answer for us. Yet we persisted and found the most natural solutions for us. Actually, they were very effective. So we are trying to spread the word on the benefits of effectiveness of natural and alternative health, and that it will positively affect, and we want to positively affect as many people as we can doing this. Part of the reason is because I've suffered from digestive problems and my own thyroid issues as I was a young girl, and I didn't really know what was going on. I know that you can also relate when doctors tell you, don't really know what's going on with you. Is there something you're not telling us? And I know many of you can relate to this. I went through my 20s and my 30s not knowing what was going on, with me. And I would wake up with palpitations, and I knew something was wrong. Something was related. It was related to my thyroid, but the test didn't come up. And yes, stress does trigger autoimmune states, autoimmune symptoms to rear its ugly head. And I just knew deep down inside that there's got to be a better way. And, being turned away from doctor to doctor is very discouraging and defeating and disappointing, and lost a lot of faith in the medical system, even though I was in my last year of medical school. And when I graduated and Brett and I got married, there were, we began to fit a lot of the missing pieces bit by bit and discovered ways to control my health. And I did it all myself, and I did it, with natural holistic approaches with other practitioners that are in this type of field. It was not a quick fix. I wanted to, I want to express that, wholeheartedly. It takes work. Nothing is a quick fix. You've got to work hard to improve your health, especially if you've decided to go the more natural route. It does not happen naturally, things that happen in nature, and you put things that happen in in nature in your body, you do feel a difference, but it does take a gradual effect as time goes on. Well, I wanted to get right down to the training. You're on this training today because you obviously have autoimmune conditions. You're looking for solutions to your common daily symptoms, and it affects you probably daily, and even you're up at night thinking about what you're going through. You're tired. You're tired, and nothing seems to be working. So first thing I wanted to go over is the reasons why I think we should empower ourselves to take control of our health, and take your health into your own hands. Basically, take control of your own health. You're probably affected by either one or more of these common symptoms: poor digestion, struggling with illness, reoccurring illness, skin rashes, allergies, blood sugar problems, extreme fatigue, chronic pain of the joints and the muscles, and other autoimmune conditions. So I wanted to talk now about empowering yourself to take control of your autoimmune conditions. So, number one, you are the only person that knows you than anyone else out there. Not your friends, not your family, not your doctors. And I'm not telling you to ignore your doctors and you ignore your doctor's advice. In fact, it's especially important to do this and to get your doctor on board with any plan that you plan to execute, especially if you want to go the more natural way. It's also very important to go to the doctor and go to a doctor that understands your autoimmune conditions. For example, I do remember going to an integrated doctor, and I had a very difficult time getting them to understand my point of view. I wanted the necessary labs that many of the conventional doctors don't have, that I wanted to check my antibodies in my thyroid, and some other tests, just to make a definitive answers to my questions. And I had to find ways to go around this. So it's difficult, especially when your doctors aren't on board with you. So it's also, number two, very important to get doctors that can understand your point of view, because it's very stressful trying to get them to understand or get them to relate to you. So it's better to do some research and find these doctors for yourself. And if you can't find these doctors for yourself in your local area, reach out to people that are know how to research these doctors in your area for you. So many times, for example, there are lots of people in the Facebook group, people locally, that ask for a referral for doctors that are very close by to where they live. So this is something else that's very important that I would like to stress. Another one is they won't understand because their training is a bit different. In integrative medicine, a lot of physicians and the ones that are going to residency schools, they go into residency integrative programs. Take a look at those kind of doctors. They do their residency in those types of programs. They are about 3 years that they have to go on top of the 4 years that they go to school. So take a look at those kind of doctors, and if you're not planning to go to a physician of that nature, then choose a holistic practitioner that has done the proper schooling as well. So, and the fourth is your patterns of how you go along in your daily life, routines, actually patterns that are constant routines can keep us stuck with no fluidity. And what I mean by this is, you continue to stay stuck in the same period of time, day after day, month after month, year after year, doing the same things over and over and not getting results. So, for example, I prefer to work with clients that are open-minded and are ready to challenge themselves to start now and not procrastinate, because of whatever mental blocks that come up for them, whatever fears they may be struggling with. And living in fear keeps you stuck. I want to express that so much, and a lot of people who struggle for years with conditions, issues, are stuck. And for whatever reason it is, it's important to dig in there and for yourself and find out why you're struggling in that area, to change that mindset. Step out, of the path and look at other possibilities to improve your health. This is the only way that you can start to make the mental, mind shifts for a more meaningful life. And the fifth one, are your personal feelings. What is coming up for you around taking your health into your own hands? Are you afraid of trying something new? What, is the disconnect there? Are you having any limited beliefs around natural medicine? What are you listening? How and why are you listening to this training today? Ask yourself these questions and come up with your own solutions. Now I wanted to discuss becoming that strong, empowered woman that you're meant to be. And accountability and having a cheerleader right there for you is just so important, whether it be a mentor, whether it be a friend, your husband, your children. This is how you heal. A Facebook group for you to go that extra mile on the one thing that keeps you from doing repeated behavior. Okay, for example, focus on the goals that can give you that forward momentum. Now, if you continue to eat the foods that may, cause that trigger, or you continue going to the doctors that does not understand you, and a doctor that does not have your interest at heart, focus on music that can perk you up, wake you up at an early time, though it may be hard at first. Everything gets easier and easier as you do it. So find those blocks, find solutions to these blocks so you can move through these resistance that are occurring in your life. Now, another thing I wanted to discuss is the comfort zone. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. When you're younger and you are conditioned to act and think and believe a certain way, our belief system can also keep us from moving forward, moving, in a positive direction. And it affects our health and it affects our life. And this includes weight loss, motivation, staying active, being happy, constant connections with relationships, support systems. For example, women with autoimmune conditions a lot of times tend to have low energy, and this is hard because you want to plan your entire life, that particular day, 2 weeks in advance, and you can't. You begin to fade in the background slowly, and you get lost in yourself. And it's time to step out, okay, and make that transformational step to a higher vibration. It's just so important. You can do this, and by stepping out of your comfort zone. Another thing is, losing your voice and getting it back. When we struggle through many, many years of health issues, you tend to lose your voice. And I don't mean that you are not, you physically lose your voice. You emotionally lose your voice. That fight that you had inside of you starts to, decrease. And this is how you begin to have that voice in your life by it's lacking, and it will continue to improve once your confidence begins to improve. And I often see this in women with health issues. Their confidence is lowered, and it affects their perspective on things, their decision making, and uh, their overall perspective on life. Negativity is a prime example. And this goes on and it continues, and it can, affect your entire life. It can affect your marriage and your job and the way you communicate with others. And, you slowly start to isolate yourself and eventually lose your identity. So it is so important to start to motivate and encourage yourself. Kill that fear. Okay. And that a good example is, fearing another type of way to improve your health. You're in this Facebook group to get the positive resources for yourself to improve your health. But if you don't take the actions, then you stay stagnant in your life. And I don't want you to stay stagnant. I want you to kill that fear and move with fluidity and with less resistance and higher vibration. So get courageous, get strong, and reach out. That's one thing I do really recommend, is to reach out to any of the women in the Facebook group. You communicate with them right there on the Facebook group. It's okay to do that. Ask questions of people who have the same autoimmune conditions for support. It helps with your self-confidence. Women often grow strong when they support each other and motivate each other. There are experiences and experiments and research out there that says that North America is probably the only country in this world where women are isolating themselves on a daily basis, where other countries, women come together and they are very, very supportive of one another. So be brave, and be strong, and be determined. Research for yourself, educate yourself, learn, 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 and engage and support one another. Especially in the Facebook group, I see a lot of women in here, the Facebook group, that are hungry for, learning new ways to improve their health. And I commend you 100%. This is just so fantastic to see you every day putting forth a lot of effort to improve your health. It's wonderful to see. So take action is my next step. It's get up in the morning, do that one thing for your health every morning. Before you go to bed, challenge yourself to take action with one thing every morning once you get out of your bed. For example, make that smoothie, with whey protein and coconut milk, the flax seeds, the one that you had planned to do for quite a few weeks now, quite a few months. Do that one thing that you have been planning to do for many, many months, even years. And then move to things that you'd like to incorporate. For example, I do journaling, I do meditation, I do journaling, and then I do either yoga, I either do jump rope because I like to stay active that way, and another week I would do weight training. So once you start repeating these steps become very, smoother, and you transition into a more healthy lifestyle. So pretty soon you'll have incorporated about 3 or 4 things that you can now empower yourself and improve your health immediately. And you can start doing this sooner than later. So I wanted to get into the self care tips that I had planned to talk about in the day 1 of our holistic training today. And that will include 4, I believe it's 4, yeah, 4 steps for self-care. The number 1 is self-awareness. And essentially, the more you pay attention to your emotions and how you work, the better you will understand why you do the things you do. This is self-awareness. This is where it comes in. This is where you begin to start making that mental shift to improve your health. The more you do this, it becomes a habit, and it's easier for you to improve, a routine or a habitual routine on a daily basis. And most cases, it takes a little experimentation to figure out what works for you. And when you're trying to learn something new or achieve a particular goal or just go through your everyday routine, it's just put your head down and focus and get things done. But if you're not ready to get better at something like improving your health, then think outside the box. It's really important to just think outside the box. If you're not getting the results that you're supposed to be getting, then it's really important to think outside the box and be creative of how you're going to start your changes that you want for your health. For example, self-awareness. When you hear the word herbs or homeopathy, it may or may not be familiar to you, but many of you love, for example, turmeric. But there are many more, safer herbs out there in natural medicine than turmeric. So for example, what I'm trying to say is, it's important to be self-aware and think, okay, everybody else is doing this turmeric thing, but there must be some other herbs out there that might do the same thing or better, or there might be other homeopathics. And by the way, what is homeopathy? So be curious about other modalities and not just herbal medicine or homeopathic medicine, anything in life. Don't always go where the herd goes. You can go somewhere else too, you know. It actually it's quite unique when you go a different direction and figure out things for yourself and be curious. Curiosity is so important with self-awareness because it helps you uh, think, like I said, outside the box. And did you know homeopathy is actually safer than herbs? And I would say that because it's actually diluted over 100 times, sometimes 1,000 times, and on. So the vibration is higher, but the concentration in the solution is lower. So you get less side effects and less aggravations in your with your symptoms. So it's also something to think about and keep in the back of your mind. The second tip I wanted to recommend is self-love. You know, take some time each day to tune into how you're treating yourself. You know, send yourself love each day. And by making a list of 5 things that you love to do and take that 5-minute meditation and that break that you so deserve and love into, you know, your body with every breath, and exhale all the negativity out of with your exhalation. So it's really important to you know, incorporate more than one of these ways of self-love. So, you know, experiment with these things, and then you will start to show. It will show mentally, emotionally, um, such a drastic improvement in the way you think. In the way you think, lots of times it helps with the way you feel. So recognize also, this is tip number 3, that, you know, self-care is not selfish. And the concept of self-care refers to taking, you know, personal responsibility for your physical, mental, and intellect, even spiritual health. So, I mean, this is a vast part of who you are. And if, you know, more than one is lacking, then you're out of balance. So a lot of people are focusing a lot on the physical aspect of their lives. But a lot of times, if you're not getting the emotional and spiritual and mental part of your essence of who you are in balance, then this can be, you know, a seesaw for you in life. And it really prevents you from having that rich and fulfilling life. So number 4, I wanted to get into another self-care tip, and that is, you know, detoxifying. I know you're tired of hearing me say this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it over and over again. You've got to detox mentally, emotionally, and physically. And you've got to do it, you know, as often as you can. I just mentioned, you know, breath work, and that's something somebody can help you with. Uh, you know, meditation is one, but breath work is very important. It helps you remove a lot of that energy, the negative energy within, and it helps with your emotions. We pent this up every day, every single one of us. I know you can feel it. It's when you are anxious, you're depressed, you're sad, you know, things aren't working out for you. You see that resistance. So you want to have that, maintain that flow. It's all in the meridians within your body. And these connections, once they're blocked, They affect your entire, center, your core. So choose one of these detoxifying, modalities that you would like to implement in your life. There are some great ways to do this, and you know a lot about the massage and the yoga and the acupuncture. That all those are detoxifying, right? I'm going to mention some others. Somebody mentioned infrared sauna the other day in our Facebook group. That's an excellent tip for anyone who has circulation problems, even if you don't have any physical symptoms. If you want to maintain your health on a daily, this is great for preventative. And herbs, homeopathic remedies, that's energy medicine, that's another detoxifying way. Cell salts, and another I know a lot of you aren't familiar with. Spices like cayenne and cinnamon, those are very detoxifying. We could go on with other spices as well, but juicing with vegetables and Epsom salt baths with essential oils. I mean, all these you can use as self enhancing tips every day. One, choose two. And, for example, I have a client that started to detox mentally, physically, emotionally. She started using a lot of these ways that I had just mentioned. And this is also going back with self-love and deep breathing and removing a lot of those negative energies. My clients and I, go through these exercises, and it really dramatically improves. And she saw the dramatic improvements in her health when she went to her doctor for her next routine physical exam. So it really does make a really drastic impact in your life. So I do have a fifth self-care tip, and it's to treat yourself with, energy medicine. And yes, I have interest in this type of woohoo stuff. I always have. And for me, it really, really makes a difference. It really does. Probably because I grew up with it, and probably because I have always been introduced to it, and my parents are very open-minded. You change your perspective on this idea, and you'll be surprised. And like I had mentioned, reflexology is another, biofeedback, Ayurveda medicine, Ayurveda massage, and this fantastic thing called Puncha Karma, and that's Ayurveda, and that's detoxifying and with purification and detoxification and rejuvenation of your body. So what they really do is pour a lot of these herbs onto your body, and that begins the detoxifying process that occurs in the body. So it's very powerful. It addresses the root of your cause of your condition. And, it's been used for thousands and thousands of years. And the method, of staying healthy and young and vital is part of this process. So again, it's always important to, and I can't stress that anymore, to not self-prescribe, just to be on the safe side. Always get a medical or holistic practitioner that understands and are experienced in prescribing homeopathic and herbal remedies. Okay, so I wanted to just put a disclaimer because I kind of forgot. Excuse me. And the disclaimer is that all this information that I just mentioned to you is for educational purposes only. It's recommendations or suggestions. They're not any kind of medical advice I'm giving. It's not for diagnosing, prescribing, or to cure any disease. I'm strictly providing free information to improve your health and your autoimmune conditions. So I wanted to recap what we just went through. And you can also, get this in the Facebook group. I've recorded it. I've recorded it on video, and I've recorded it on live, Facebook Live, for any of you that are interested in it and opted into receiving these trainings. We just talked about empowering yourself to take control of your health, and I gave you 5 suggestions on that: how to be strong and empowering, and to be accountable as a cheerleader. You can find those in Facebook groups. Support is so important. Getting out of your comfort zone, improving your voice and making it stronger for you so you can build your confidence once again. And I also gave you keys to start motivating and encouraging yourself. Kill that fear, get courageous, be brave, start researching and educating and learning and engaging and support one another. This is what helps you with your mental, emotional, and physical balance, your core, your essence of who you are. So, getting to that higher vibration and take action. That's the 5th step. Self-care tips I got into is self-awareness. It's so important for your emotions, and staying connected, and thinking outside of that box, because it's so, so important, because we are modeled, we are conditioned. What we see and what we hear, it's over and over again, and sometimes we stay within that box. We don't realize it, but if you just do that little mind shift, you gradually understand that if you take, you step outside of that, then you have other opportunities and other things that you can think of, to not just one way, is what I'm saying. There are other ways to improve your health. Self-love, again, is very important, because we are, and I said the 3rd step is we tend to think that self-love is selfish. And the 4th is detoxification. And I mentioned some herbs, juicing, Epsom oils, and essential oils that can be used. And then I talked about energy medicine, because it's part of holistic medicine, and we can't deny that there are other ways, because there's, I did mention massage, but there's kinesiology, there's biofeedback, there is Tai Chi, there's reflexology. It's important to keep moving. Once you keep moving, you start to detoxify. Simple walking, these things are all detoxifying. Because why I mentioned detoxification is because once you start to get into the chronic part of your disease or your condition, it's harder for your lymph to keep moving. And that's why, other health issues start to come up. So it's important to keep that fluidity. Okay, so I'm now down to my last part of the mini training that we wanted to have for our Facebook group. I just did the recap, and I wanted to just mention tomorrow we have the next day, day 2, is coming up. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be focusing on digestion, how to relieve joint pain, anxiety, depression, or sadness, and increase your energy every day, regain radiance, of your skin, of your hair, and remove a lot of that brain fog naturally and holistically. with gentle herbs and homeopathic remedies just to improve your autoimmune conditions. And so this is going to be just, homeopathy and herbal 101. It's not, I'm not going to get into too much and bore you. So this is something I love to do and something I love to help people with. So thank you so much for listening, and see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And goodbye, everyone, and have a fantastic day.